All right, guys, welcome back to part 2 of the 9 Laws of Success book review by Stormy Wellington. If you watch the first video, the first video was about, part 1 was about the 7 pillars of success. And those 7 pillars lay the foundation for the 9 laws of success. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Alrighty, so if you haven't watched part 1 of the 9 Laws of Success book review, I'll leave it up here in the cards. Go ahead and watch part 1, then come back here for part 2. Because before you can apply the 9 Laws of Success, you need the 7 pillars. The 7 pillars are in part 1, so once you watch that one, come back and watch this. Alrighty, so if you are new to my channel, I do something called the Box of Books series, where I read a series of books and do reviews on them. So today I am reviewing the 9 Laws of Success by Stormy Wellington. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. And let's dive right into it. So now we're going to speak about the 9 Laws of Success. You need the 7 pillars before you can get to the 9 laws. So now we are here, alrighty? And I'm going to read the first paragraph to the first chapter. So it begins, in biblical numerology, the number 9 has many meanings, including finality and the judgment. But there are also other definitions for the number 9, which made it perfect for the 9 laws of success. The number 9 is the number of patience, of harmony, of meditation, inspiration, and the perfection of ideas. All of these factors are the basis of success. You must have patience and be in harmony with your goals and with what you desire. I will talk about the importance of meditation and why it's important for you to not only be inspired, but to inspire others. Okay. And then she also has a quote here that says, my pain gives me power and my failures create my blueprint. My pain gives me power and my failures create my blueprint. So, number 1, the first law of success is purpose. This is the foundation. I'm going to read a few sentences from the first page. She says, why? That simple word is a simple question. Why? Why do you want to change? Why do you want to be successful in the first place? Your why is your foundation. Your why is your purpose. These are the reasons why you purchased this book. Your why has to be bigger than you. When I created Boss Babe Kartel, I created it. It started off as something for me because I wanted to connect with other people. I wanted to find other women who were in positions like me, who wanted more, who wanted to improve. And as, you know, Boss Babe Kartel began to grow, as, you know, we began to touch more people, I realized that, wow, this is bigger than me. It's above me now. It had literally became more than just me. I began seeing the growth. I began seeing the testimonies of these women and how this community has shifted their mindsets about entrepreneurship and ownership. And it began to help them embrace independence. And that's when I realized that this girl who 2.5, almost 3 years ago was sitting on her couch, facing depression, suffering from PPD, postpartum depression, and I had no idea where I was headed. I felt like a complete, total fucking failure. And I was young. I was only like 21 at the time, I believe. I think maybe 22, going on 23. at the time. And I just remember, my mind always flashes back to that girl, because despite what I was going through, there was a pocket in my mind. I had decompartmentalized this particular thought. I told myself that I'm going to find my why. I'm going to find something that works for me. I'm going to find my thing, and I'm going to run with it. And lo and behold, about 6 to 8 months later, Boss Babe Kartel was created. About 6 to 8 months after that, the testimony started flowing in, and the community began growing, and I began building connections with some amazing people and locking arms with some amazing people, and things started to happen. And guys, these are significant things that I never applauded myself for. I have never applauded myself for these things. You know, I realize, you know, and that's just to show you that sometimes you accomplish these really significant things, and you know, you don't even acknowledge yourself. But I say that to say, you have to engage in a vision that is bigger than you. Like I said before, sometimes your children are not going to be enough. Sometimes your spouse, your husband, your mama, your auntie, your family won't be enough for you to wake up and go after what it is that you want. You truly have to engage in a vision that is bigger than yourself. And Boss Babe Kartel became bigger than me. And I knew that the only way to sustain this and to keep it going was to humble myself and be of service to other people. Right? So, and I love this because this book is geared towards entrepreneurs. And I live by this saying, you know, being in business and being an entrepreneur is not all about your bottom line. It's not about, you know, money. Everything, yes, it's about making money. Ultimately, you want to make money. You want to make sales. Awesome. But it's also about community, and it's also about adding value, and it's also about being of service. Don't start a business unless you're ready to serve, period. If you go into business and your only thing is about making money and about seeing dollar signs, it won't last long. But if you go into business with a mindset ready and willing to serve others and add value to the lives of others, God will bless you. You will see longevity and prosperity in your businesses and all of your business ventures and endeavors. So think about that. Really think about that. So the first law is your purpose. It's your foundation. It's your why. And your why should be bigger than you. Okay. Then she goes on to say, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Well, the same is true when you are searching for your purpose. If you help others get what they want, you will ultimately get what you want. That is the truth. Who is your success going to serve? Who is your success going to build when a person looks at you? That's deep. And that's a part of the reason why I continue to go. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times when growing my community and serving others where I felt, where I was drained, honestly. But when you realize that you've engaged in a vision that is bigger than yourself, and now your why, it's no longer about you, but it's about what other people are getting from your presence and from your being in this world. That right there, that serves me. That I am able to be, or I am able to be of service and add value to others, or that I created something. I created something that is able to help other people gain financial independence and make the connections that they need to be able to flourish in their businesses, that is so important to me. And ultimately, that is how I am served, right? So how is your success going to serve others? You know, law number 2 is belief. Okay, so she goes on to say, what is belief? Simply, it is the acceptance that a statement is true. That definition is the reason why belief is one of the most important laws. If you believe that you can achieve something, you're right. On the other hand, if you believe that you cannot accomplish a certain task or objective, you're also right. Remember, belief is the acceptance of a statement as true. So whether you believe you can or believe you cannot, you're absolutely right. Here's the thing about belief. It takes the same amount of energy to believe that you can do something as it takes for you to believe that you cannot. And in this chapter, she speaks on what she does to create a positive energy and atmosphere in her space. She talks about how she wakes up in the morning and she applauds herself and she chants and she gets out of the bed and she jumps up and down, because those things are causing great vibrations when you wake up and you're applauding yourself, when you're jumping up and down. Your brain is creating these endorphins that enhance your mood and allow you to feel good, right? And when you feel good, you attract great. You attract goodness, right? So she talks about creating that positive atmosphere and creating a positive energy around you so that you can attract good. She talks about removing those limiting beliefs, as we see all successful people talk about, removing those blocks, removing those limiting beliefs that stop you from attracting all of the good that you want in your life, right? And I recently learned about the law of attraction. I want to say about 2 years ago now. And then I learned about the law of visualization about a year ago. So these two things go hand in hand. But the only way that these things can really work for you is if you truly believe that it is possible, right? You have to truly believe in your heart that all great things that are possible for you. But like we spoke about in the 7 pillars, right? Where we spoke about how every day there needs to be a renewing of your mind. Every day is not going to be easy. You're not going to wake up every day and believe that, that you're on top of it. No, it's not going to happen. There are going to be some times where you're going to wake up and shit is just going to be super out of whack. But there needs to be a compartment in your mind. Remember how she spoke about decompartmentalizing? There needs to be a compartment in your mind. Remember how I told you, despite what I was facing at that moment, 2.5, 3 years ago, I was sitting there on my couch. There was something in my mind that told me, despite what you're facing, you're going to find something that's for you. Right? So you have to decompartmentalize. There has to be a section of positive thoughts in your mind somewhere. Positive affirmations in your mind somewhere for those days where shit is just out of whack. Okay? And how I do it is I make sure I talk to myself. Every day I need to say something good to myself. I need to have numerous of good thoughts in my mind daily. I cannot miss a day. Every day I need to speak some kind of love, affirmation of positivity to myself, out into my household, to my child, period. And then something that she said that I really enjoyed was, the size of my belief determines the size of my success. So how big are you willing to believe? Because that's ultimately going to determine how much success you attract, right? So like for me, for example, I started the Box of Books series because I wanted to transform my mind. right? And I knew that by picking up these books by these successful people, that they're leaving clues for me. So what is the best way for me to transform my mind? By picking up these books and reading. Like I told you in the first Box of Books series, in the first Box of Books episode, I started this series because I was getting in my own head. You know, I was thinking very negative. I wasn't thinking very positive thoughts. And I was harboring these false fears, these fallacies in my mind. And I said, I need to knock this shit out of my head. Like, I wish that somebody could, like, literally come in, like, punch these thoughts out of my brain. But I said, okay, what else can you do to repel these negative thoughts and begin to attract thoughts of success, thoughts of love, thoughts of encouragement, thoughts of belief, right? So I said, let me read. And I began to read books, right? Law of success number 3 is the golden rule. Okay. So I'm going to read a little bit of this chapter so that you guys can get a further understanding of what law number 3 is, the golden rule. We've all heard of the golden rule. This isn't something that I made up. Actually, this was here before any of us. This principle is biblical. This is a concept that I first learned from my mother. She used to always say, Stormy, treat people how you want to be treated. But in the world today, the golden rule isn't always adhered to. It has been my experience that people focus on what they want rather than how they treat others. People tend to pull from others a lot. Using my life as an example, people tend to think they deserve my time. They think they deserve to borrow my money, almost as if they were entitled to both. Right? It happens so often that it feels like an epidemic sometimes. What I find fascinating, though, is that it's not reciprocal. A person will ask me for my time, but when I need something, that same person is not there for me. A person will borrow money, but will not pay me back. Why not be there for me the way I was there for you during some of your deepest and darkest times? Why not be there when I need you, and why not pay me back? People really need to think about this. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Give to people the way you want to be given to. This is a concept that goes well beyond my mother. I'm a big advocate of reading. Of course, I love reading books about success, but I enjoy reading books about the lives of people who have experienced success. I read a book called The Science of Getting Rich and really enjoyed the author's perspective. Then not too long after I finished the book, I was introduced to a gentleman who earned over $5 million a year in his business. As we talked, he told me that one of his favorite books was The Science of Getting Rich. I was excited because that meant I was on the right track. One of the first chapters in the book talked about giving, but the author talked about giving from a perspective I'd never heard before. The author said it was good to give, but if you continuously give to poverty, you will attract poverty. If you continuously give to lack, you will attract lack. Right? So, basically, I love this. And that's another book that I'm actually going to go purchase. It's called The Science of Getting Rich, right? And I'm definitely going to go grab that book because I really, really, really enjoy that perspective. Basically, what she's saying is that the author of this book that she read, his perspective on giving was, and remember how she spoke about appreciation and expectation and not setting expectations for people because they're going to disappoint us, right? Somewhere along the line, somebody is going to disappoint you. So why set the expectation? Just be appreciative that you are even in a position to give, right? But then you have the golden rule where you treat people how you want to be treated. So in terms of giving, right, what this author was saying was, when it comes to giving to others, why give to lack and poverty, right? Now, he's not saying don't give to impoverished people. He's not saying do not give to lower income families. He's not saying do not serve the less fortunate. That's not what he's saying. But in order to continuously attract abundance, right? And in order to continuously fuel your blessings and fuel your inspiration and fuel that positivity and create that positive environment and atmosphere in your life, you have to also invest in prosperity, invest in longevity, invest in things other than lack, other than poverty, right? So for example, you have some people who, like, for example, she spoke about an event that she went to for Tony Robbins. And I believe the event was about $10,000, right? And if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in the network marketing industry, if you're a business owner, I'm pretty sure you know who Tony Robbins is. This guy is the real deal, okay? So he had an event, and this is what she explains in the book. The event was about 10 grand, and she spoke about how there's the mindset of unsuccessful people. That mindset would be, why am I going to spend 10 grand to go see this guy? Why am I going to go make him richer? That's the mindset of unsuccessful people. Why am I going to go make Tony Robbins even more rich? Why am I going to go give him 10 grand? Then you have the mindset of people who want prosperity, success, longevity, abundance, blessings, right? Who want wisdom and knowledge, who will pay that 10 grand proudly because they understand the value of service, right? How in order to continue to attract abundance, you have to serve it as well. So we're not looking at that 10 grand as a loss. We're looking at that 10 grand as this is an investment in my longevity. This is an investment in my prosperity. This is an investment in my business. This is an investment in my mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness, right? So I love this because the author of this book, he spoke about the author of The Science of Getting Rich, which is a book that Stormy Wellington read. What she explains in this book, his perspective on giving was so different, but it made sense. And I really, really enjoyed that, and that really intrigued me, because sometimes you think when you become successful, you want to give to people who live in poverty or people who don't have as much as you have. But it also allowed me into the mind of the rich. Because, yes, we see them, give to charities, and we see them go to Africa, and we see them on Skid Row giving out meals. Ultimately, it helps you to understand the mind of the rich. If you continue to invest in lack and poverty, that's what you're going to attract. But if you invest in your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical wellness, if you invest in personal development, if you invest $10K in going to a Grant Cardone or Tony Robbins event, don't you think you're going to see a positive return on investment? Right? So that's something that really resonated with me, and it helped me look at giving differently. So when I become successful, I'll know how to find that balance between giving to the less fortunate, but also making sure that I'm serving to those who are on a higher level than me, so I can continue to, so my cup can continue to be full, Even think about it like this. Like I said, Boss Babe Kartel became something that was bigger than me. It became way bigger than me, right? And like I said, after a while, it did become draining, because I became the go-to for so many women that looked like me who needed guidance, right? And after a while, I became burnt out. And I went on a hiatus for a while because I lacked inspiration. I lacked creativity. I felt like I had taught everything I could teach, and I had no one there to fill my cup. And this book made me look at giving differently, because in the midst of me being of service and adding value to others, if I would have been pouring into the cups of other people, if I would have had a mentor who was on a higher level than me, if I would have had a coach who was on a higher level than me, I would have never gotten burnt out. I would have never had to take a break. I would have never, had to go on this hiatus, right? Because as I'm serving others, I would have been serving somebody else who was able to add value to me and pour into my cup, right? So it's just amazing how the universe works. It's amazing how everything works together for the great of good. If you acknowledge it, if you open your eyes and adjust your perspective on certain things, there is always a positive way to look at something, right? So let's move on. I don't want to drag out. Okay, so this is the 4th law of success. She talks about imagination and visualization, right? And I'm just going to read the first page of this chapter so that you guys can get a little bit more understanding on imagination and the law of visualization. So she says, the law of imagination and visualization is one of my favorites because the principle is so true. Like I've said before, until you can see yourself with whatever it is you want, you will not have it. You must see it to achieve it. This is worth repeating. You must see it to achieve it, because visualization is the most powerful thing that you can do. So how do you see it? There are many steps, but it all begins in your mind through your imagination. So in this chapter, she talks about how you can basically create the life that you want using your imagination, right? When we were children, we dreamed the most wildest dreams and we had the most craziest imaginations. But as we began to get older, things happened and we experienced failures, or we were disappointed, or we saw something that made us think that it was just that thing is just so impossible, it's unattainable, and it kind of knocked your confidence down a little bit. But right now, at whatever age you are, you have to begin to dream again. You have to begin to visualize your highest self and begin to show up as him or her. That's what that chapter taught me. The power of visualization. And this is something I've been working on for about the past 2 to 3 days, is not just speaking on it, not just saying my affirmations, but really placing myself there, really feeling it. That is a part of the law of imagination and visualization. Actually placing yourself where it is that you want to be, right? In that chapter, she talks about how she manifested her Rolls Royce, right? How you have the power to create whatever it is that you want. Not only do you speak it, but you really have to believe that it is possible, and you have to see it for yourself. And the thing I love about her is the way that she speaks to herself and how confident she is. Reading this book, oh my goodness, I love this woman. Reading this book really put me up on myself. And like I said, I was running. I ran from this book, y'all. This book sat on my desk for weeks because I knew it was some stuff in here I needed to read, but I ran from it. Listen, open up your mind. Open up your mind. So the law of success, number 4, is imagination and visualization. So you really have to believe that it is possible for you. You may not know how it's going to get done. You may have no clue. You may have no clue. Like right now, I'm sitting so far away from 2 investment properties, a condo, and a home in Atlanta. I'm sitting so far away, but I believe that it is on the way. I know that it's coming. I know that my condo overlooking the city is coming. I know my vacation home is coming. I know my other vacation home is coming. I know that it's coming. I believe it. And so it is, and so it shall be. It is already done, right? So you really have to affirm that shit and be confident and stand on it, and don't let nobody take that away from you. You know what you want. So she says, my dreams and my goals are coming into reality. How they will get done is not my business. It's God's business, right? That is one of her affirmations. I hear Stormy say this all the time. My dreams and my goals are coming into reality. How they will get done is not my business. It's God's business. Law number 5 is the law of attraction, right? And this is one that we all love. And like I said, the law of attraction and the law of imagination and visualization go hand in hand. You don't have one without the other, right? For the full results, you need both. You need to be able to truly believe that it is going to happen, and you need to be able to see it. See it, feel it, breathe it, speak it, and know that it's going to happen, right? So, law of success number 5 is everything I'm sharing with you in this book is based on my experience and my success. And this law here is one of the most serious laws because there's no debate. This is something you cannot dispute. Attraction is about understanding that like attracts like. Love attracts love. Hate attracts hate. And so, if you want to be healthy, do the things it will take for you to be healthy. Once you do that, you'll begin to attract more things to help you maintain your health. And when I speak about health, of course, I'm speaking about your body. But your health pertains to so many other things too. A healthy relationship, a healthy career, a healthy financial situation. We want to be in the right position to attract what we want in our lives. I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in the law of attraction so much that I don't want to begin my day until I've set my mind on what it is that I want to attract. All right, guys, so my phone had went dead really quickly, but I am back. So we left off on the law of attraction, right? And she was speaking about how she positions herself every morning to be able to attract the kind of abundance that she wants to receive daily, right? So it's a daily routine, okay? So she says, I set my intentions for the day. What is it that I want for today? How do I position myself to attract all the good that I deserve and desire? She says, I don't say the same thing every day, but one thing I say constantly is, I am a money magnet. I am a walking vault. When I open my mouth, people will listen, right? So the law of attraction is constantly reaffirming yourself that all things that are possible, all great things that are possible for you. So once you combine the law of imagination and visualization with the law of attraction, you can create your wildest dreams. I remember first learning about the law of attraction and realizing, whoa. I learned about the law of attraction through The Secret. Then I realized this is how these people are doing it. They are truly believing that the money, the lifestyle, the career, the family, all of their wildest dreams, they're creating and manifesting this through their belief system. Whoa. So you mean to tell me that simply by removing those blocks and removing those barriers and those limiting beliefs, that I can create and manifest my wildest dreams? When I first learned that, when I learned the kind of power that I have, not just through the law of attraction, but me, myself, as a powerful, strong entity, me, myself, with all this queen energy, that I can manifest and attract everything that I deserve. Whoa. Listen, hello, boom. So the law of attraction is basically reaffirming on a daily, consistent basis that whatever you want, whoever you want to be, wherever you want to go, you speak that on a daily basis. And when you speak about it in the present. I am. It is done. It is taken care of. It is provided for. It has been completed. Write it out. Speak it, breathe it, believe it. Right? It says here, the law of attraction states that whatever you focus on, think about, read about, and talk about intensely, you're going to attract more of into your life. Right? And one thing that she did speak on when it came to the law of attraction was, when you're co-creating your life, when you are manifesting, when you are attempting to manifest these awesome things, that nice car, that beautiful home, the dream career, the successful businesses, don't forget love. Don't forget love. Because yeah, you can have all of these amazing material things, but what are all of those things without genuine relationships, genuine friendships, genuine true love, right? Because, me personally, once I establish and acquire all of the things that I want for myself, I would like to be able to share that with somebody that loves me, that genuinely loves me. I would like to have friends who genuinely love and support me for who I am beyond just material things. So make sure that when you're praying and when you're scripting and when you're journaling, that you are also very detailed about the kind of love you want to attract into your life. Hello, boom. The law of success, number 6, is self-discipline, okay? So she says, while all the laws are so important to your success, nothing can happen without this, self-discipline. Most people are not disciplined enough to finish a task. People get excited and talk about what they're going to do, then 99% of them do nothing. She says, that's why I'm not big on motivation. My goal is inspiration. The difference between the two is motivation is on the outside, but inspiration is internal. It gets deep into your soul, and it's what's inside of you that will move you towards your goal. I'm a person who is inspired, and a lot of my inspiration comes because of my background. I know that on paper, because I'm a high school dropout, I'm supposed to lack the skills for success. But I know what I lack in skills, I can make up for in numbers. I know that on paper, because I'm a high school dropout, I'm supposed to lack the skills for success. But I know what I lack in skills, I can make up for in numbers. What do I mean by that? Well, so many things that we all do in life is based on numbers. Everything is a numbers game. So I look at the numbers. I wake up earlier than everybody. I go to sleep later than everybody. I read more books than everybody. I run an extra mile, going farther than everybody. I'm going to eat less than everybody. I'm going to work out longer than everybody. And how do I do all of that? It's called self-discipline. She goes on to tell a story that actually brought me to tears. I was in tears. Y'all have to read this book. I'm not gonna tell y'all the story, but she goes on to tell a story about basically how her self-discipline and her being so rooted in herself and her understanding the importance of self-discipline, how that ultimately was able to translate, and how she was able to basically push one of her teammates, one of her team members, to their fullest potential. And the way that she explained it was so gripping. It brought me to tears. Yes, I cried reading this book. I cried multiple times reading this book. And the thing about self-discipline, like I said before, is there's going to be some times where your kids, your spouse, your mom, and your dad, like, that's not going to be enough to motivate you. Right? There has to be, you have to have some sense of self-discipline. And that is something that's not easy either. It's not easy. But when shit ain't easy, that's when your self-discipline has to kick in somewhere, right? That thing that tells you, like, enough is enough. I need to get my ass up. I need to remove this from my diet. I need to begin to work out. I need to get my work done. This project been sitting on my desk, or, you know, I should have did this last week and I haven't done it yet. Somewhere along the line, self-discipline needs to kick in. And that is going to be your driving factor when all else fails, right? So self-discipline is something I believe is very important. And I believe it's something that all successful people should embed in themselves. Self-discipline, I believe. And it's something that I am working on daily. You know, self-discipline is something that I am working on daily. But I know that in order to be successful, I need to acquire and I need to enact a certain level of self-discipline if I want to obtain or retain any kind of success in my life, right? We're almost to the end, but this one, number 7, is sacrifice. And when she spoke about sacrifice, I related to that so much. I'm going to read a little bit of it. She said, while most of the laws of success are about passion, sacrifice is a law that makes me emotional. She said, while most of the laws of success are about passion, sacrifice is a law that makes me emotional. Why? Because I am a single mother of 3 children, and I take care of my adult sister and father. Alrighty, so I'm back. So in the 7th law of success, she speaks about sacrifice. And this is a topic that personally resonates with me because prior to the creation of Boss Babe Kartel, I really was in a position where I had to really think fast and I had to make a sacrifice. Even being a child and having my father make a sacrifice, that was really, really hard. That separated us. But ultimately, I understand, you know, thank God that I do have an entrepreneur mindset, that I do have the mindset of a business owner, that I do have the mindset of somebody who understands the importance of sacrifices when you're trying to achieve success. In the beginning, I really didn't understand the sacrifice that my father was making. And my father is one of my greatest supporters and one of my greatest mentors. And he's also a successful businessman. And in the beginning, as a child, when we first were separated, I really didn't understand the why behind his sacrifice. And as I began to get older, and when I realized that I wanted ownership, that I wanted to be a successful businesswoman, I began to understand sacrifices. And this is something very recent for me. So I spent a lot of years questioning, like, why did he leave me? Why is he not here? I knew, like I said, I had to come to a lot of realizations at a very, very young age. So I had to start putting two and two together very quick. And I thank God for the wisdom that was bestowed upon me throughout my journey. But one of the things I do remember is that just thinking to myself that, when it comes to success and when it comes to chasing your dreams, you're going to have to make sacrifices. And that mindset is what enabled me to be able to forgive my father. Right? And a lot of people won't understand it. Some people be like, I'll be pissed the hell off. But as somebody who understands that in order to be successful, you have to make sacrifices, I am able to have compassion with my father. And I understand why he left and went to Nigeria. Because he felt in his heart, in his soul, he knew that if he went there, oh my God, I'm getting emotional, that he was going to be successful. And he is successful. And I'm so proud of my father. And I can only just dream to have as much guts and be as brave as him at his age when he did leave to go back to his country. Because that took a lot of guts. Yes, it hurt people. It hurt his children. It hurt his wife. But sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Oh my goodness, sacrifice is such a tricky thing. And it's like, I understood it when I became a mother. And then I had to make a sacrifice that tore me to bits and fucking pieces. But I understood that the only way that you can be there for other people, the only way. So, yeah, like I was saying, when it comes to success, sometimes you have to make sacrifices. And that's just what it is. Plain and simple. If you want success, you will have to sacrifice. Okay? And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Sometimes you might have to sacrifice that burger. Okay? If you want to lose weight, you got to sacrifice that number 5 from McDonald's. Okay? You're going to have to sacrifice. If you have a problem with staying focused, you need to focus on your work and sacrifice listening to music or watching TV, which is something I have a problem with. I love watching TV. Okay, I love it. But sometimes it distracts me from what is important, right? And that is one of our big pillars. Focus on what's important. What's in front of you right now that you need to get done. So sometimes you may have to sacrifice those distractions, all right? So, all right, guys. So the last 2 laws of success. Number 8 is taking action, right? And number 9 is self-confidence and self-esteem. So go ahead, take action no matter where you are on your journey, on your entrepreneurial journey, whatever journey you're on. Begin to take action. Have confidence in yourself and believe that you are worthy and that you are deserving of your wildest dreams. You can accomplish anything you put your mind to. All of the other laws of success will not work until you truly believe in yourself and take action. In order to take action, you have to have confidence in yourself and truly believe that you are worthy. So I enjoyed this video. I enjoyed speaking with you guys. I hope that you guys were able to take something away from this review. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Box of Books series. Those were the 9 laws of success and the 7 pillars, right? So the 7 pillars are that foundation. And then the 9 laws of success are built on those pillars, right? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Leave this video a big thumbs up. And I thank you so much for tuning in. I'll leave a link to this book down below in the description box. Once again, thank you, Miss Stormy Wellington, for giving us this game, this motivation, and this knowledge. You guys need to really go and grab this. All my Black-owned, female-owned business owners and entrepreneurs, make sure you go and grab this book because it is amazing. This woman gets a lot of heat and a lot of shit thrown her way, but she still stands, she rises, and thank you for this book.